We're not trying to do it that way, John. It's the way it happens.
Are you concerned about that happening, that maybe one of these days you might get out of it?
John, you cannot play football the way we played today and expect to win. Really, you can't. We did it for 2 weeks in a row, and it's very hard to win that way. And it's a credit to our football team because they stuck together, they played hard, and they did the things you had to do to win, but we can't do it.
When you did warn us that Kansas City was a pretty good football team.
Well, they're better than people thought they were, and if you look at who they got playing for them, they're a better football team.
Now, Jim McMahon, he came on with his heroics once again, and he said that you kind of gave him a carte blanche.
Free reign is what you call it, free reign. Carte blanche, free reign. He had it.
Are you thinking about giving him carte blanche all the way, or are you going to...
Well, if I thought that we could win every football game with Jim calling the plays, we'd do it that way. That's all.
How many quarterbacks left in the NFL that do call their own plays?
I don't know.
Not very many, I don't
really
think.
Don't care either.
But of course, when you have him call plays, you've got a short list, and he's supposed to call within that selection of the circumstances.
It's still something we design as coaching staff, but still, Jim can do it. He's the guy who can do it.
Okay, we've got some highlights, and of course, one of the things you got down early, and once again, the special teams was the spark, and here's the kickoff return by Dennis Gentry.
Well, I tell you something about this guy. He's unbelievable. He's so valuable to us. It's unbelievable. He really does a great job for us all the way through, in everything, Third down, second down, kicking game.
Okay, now here's Cap Bozo, a new name for the Bears. He's coming on, and he came through.
What a name, Cap Bozo.
Yes. Well, he catches passes. I know that you took Emery Moorhead out. Is Emery still a starter?
Well, we'll figure it out next week.
Bozo, you seem to call on him when he least expects it, and he comes through. He never drops him.
It doesn't matter, John. When you least expect it, he did the job, that's all.
Okay, now, you got a key fourth down play here for a first down, but once again, for the second week in a row, you got down, but you still didn't run the ball all that much. You said to win in the long run, you've got to get back to get that running game.
John, we're not running the ball very well at all. It's very bad. You just can't keep throwing it. This play was a miracle, really. Willie was supposed to go inside to the post. The guy jumped inside of him. He broke outside. Jimmy threw it outside. It's crazy. I don't understand it.
It's almost like magic because the quarterback has to make his commitment to throw the ball, and he must have waited just long enough. Yes, he goes towards the inside and watch the defensive back take that little dip to the inside, and Willie was home free, and he got on their way with their rally. And now we go to the touchdown pass that won the game for the Bears. Now, this was one he had dropped earlier, but he comes across the middle, just spins out and takes off. Now, McMahon called this one, right?
Right. We called it 10 pass, and we called it from the sideline on that one, but only because we had called it the play before, and Willie dropped it, and we came back with it, and we thought it was good because they were playing a two-deep zone to try to defeat us, and, Willie did a great job. And exactly what Willie did on that play is what he tried to do on the play before.
And you have another team that kept dropping off. They did very little blitzing, allowed McMahon to sit back there and throw the ball.
Well, I'm not sure, John, that's exactly what they did, but that's the way it happened. We're happy.
They were dropped. Actually, Galt became open a little bit later when the linebackers started worrying about the backs, right? So you had that deep middle zone kind of open.
Well, Anderson caught about 5 or 6 passes. I think that's what happened.
What about Jim's leg? Is it a pulled muscle for McMahon?
It might be. I'm not sure. I hope it's not. But it may be a pulled groin muscle. So
if it's pulled very badly, he might not be available for next week. Have you gotten any indication from the doctor or the trainer?
Not tonight, but if he's not ready, then we'll play Mike and we'll see what happens.
Okay. We'll be back in just a minute on Bears Extra Talk about defense. Is the way teams are scoring on you early and they're throwing the short passes, the control type of passes, are they finding a weakness in your defense, or do you think it's still staleness coming back from the strike?
John, I'd like to say it's staleness, but I'm not sure. I think what's happening right now is that the other teams have great game plans against our defense. They know right now that we're going to blitz them, we're going to put pressure on them, and they're doing the things they have to do against them. But I tell you what, we're going to keep winning. We're going to keep winning. We're going to do the right things. Our defense is very sound. We got the best football players, I think, in the league. We're going to win.
Okay, we'll take a look at some of the defense right now. And, you know, you get into some man-for-man situations. This is the one where Todd Bell was beaten by Jonathan Hayes, the tight end.
I'm not worried about that. Todd was right on him. It's a perfect throw. Kenny's a good quarterback, and we know that. I tell you what, I take my chances on Todd Bell covering this guy all day long. But now Todd learned something today. Drop off of him. Why? Why cover him tight? There's no reason to back off at the last second. The only chance they got is that throw they made.
Okay, this is Coah, as especially in the first half, they were kind of using the lead back and kind of running, you know.
Coah is a good football player. He's a great runner, and he's a lot better than anybody ever expected him to be coming in the NFL. But this play should have been stopped for about like 1 yard gain. He missed the tackle. That's the way it goes.
Okay, this is the second week in a row where you said the teams came up with good game plans against our defense. Yeah. It's going to become a habit. Now, here's a touchdown to get away from my point here for a second. This one here. This
should have never happened. This is silly. You know, they got 5 seconds on the clock, John. This was bad football. This is what bothered me more than anything in the first half.
Yes, because you had Duerson blitzing from the outside.
It doesn't matter who we had blitzing.
Well,
doesn't matter.
I mean, you got Singletary's got an impossible job. What do you mean?
No, it's not impossible. He's got to get out there and make the job.
You're asking a middle linebacker from the middle to get out there and cover him.
Well,
back that just swings out.
You got to do it. That's all that has to happen, John. It's fact.
Okay. Anyway, the defense started coming on pretty strong right here in the second half, as they did last week, and started really shutting down the Chiefs' offense.
Well, the fourth quarter was the key. They did the job. The thing, John, that we're getting excited about is, you know, whether we're an offense or a defense or a kicking game. We are everything. You know, we're the Bears, period.
Now, this was a great play by the Chiefs, but actually, if Kenny had thrown it just a little shorter, he'd have been gone for the TD, had the dive and lose, and you probably would have been out of the game. So,
well, there were like 3 plays in this sequence that would have put us out of the football game. This was one of them. The fact that they fumbled the football, I mean, there were a lot of plays.
This was the very next play when Coah fumbles and Duerson picked it up, and they weren't even able to get a field goal, so the defense rose to the occasion. Right. As we said once again, and of course you talked about special teams and everybody being involved. Lost in all this was earlier in the game when Dan Hampton blocked the field goal attempt.
Well, we were lucky, John. There's no question about it. We were lucky in a lot of plays, but you know, you got to be lucky to a degree. You know, you play hard, you got to be lucky in some play. Dan Hampton's a hell of a football player. He made some great plays for us. He made a great play right there, that's for sure.
Did you get any other injuries besides McMahon?
I think we got some pulled muscles. That's about all. I don't think there's anything great in you know, really bad in this situation. But we got some people who are a little bummed up. I know one thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, and which is I want to get Sean Gallup back on our roster next week. I think he can really help us on defense and on special teams.
That means somebody has to go off the roster. Have you made a
Somebody will. No, I haven't, but I'll make it by midweek. I'll let you know. Oh. I'll let you know firsthand.
Well, let me know on the Ditka show, huh?
Well, I hope so, because I'll try to get you before ABC, NBC.
Okay. What about, you know, you're going to play the Packers. You know, first game since that big hullabaloo over McMahon and everything. I know your feelings toward the Packers are not the highest.
Well, to me, it's a Central Division game, and then, you know, I think we'll be ready. I like to play the Packers. I really do. I like to play them, and I hope we do. And if our football team is ready, we'll be in a hell of a good shape to
do you think they'll come up with some of the dirty tactics as they have in the last couple of
games? I really
games?
don't care what they do with that. We're going to play good football against them.
Okay, let's get back. We got about 30 seconds on this McMahon. I'm curious. You didn't really give me an answer. What are you going to do on McMahon is doing so well? Are you going to just go by gut instinct as to, hey, you call him the rest of the way? Or are you going to say, hey, Jim, we're going to let you call the plays? I mean, I think that's...
Well, what we're going to do, John, is what we think is best, and I'll call some, he'll call some. That's what will happen.
But probably, usually when it's late and you're behind, it's more economical to let him call him at the line of scrimmage, I guess. Huh?
It's easier that way. I get him blamed.
He's making you look golden this last couple of weeks.
Don't you believe that?
Okay. Well, congratulations. You won another one. Okay, we'll be back with more on Bears Extra right after this timeout.
It's Boso. Not Boso or Bozo. It's Boso. A lot of people have been having trouble pronouncing it, but the correct